Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new chapter of Seriously Living. And we are going to be living a great life this December. This should be the final chapter of 2025. Happy holidays, but more importantly, happy Metroid Prime 4 Beyond launch day. Super exciting. This is the reversible cover. So it's here. Y'all have seen probably the main key art of the game, which is on the TV right now, ready to be played. But yeah, a quick little recap. If you don't know me, I'm a huge Metroid fan. Pretty much played almost every game, except for Metroid Prime spin-offs. I actually started a playthrough of Hunters to hype this up, but I just haven't had time to get through it. I've never played Federation Force. Anyway, other than that, I've played every single Metroid game. I've loved every single one to death, my whole childhood and adulthood, and Metroid Prime 4 has probably been the longest anticipated wait. My cat's screaming. It's been the longest wait, I think, ever for any game, like ever. And in two separate ways, right? Because Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, the trilogy finished in 2007. I was 11 years old, and it was on the Wii, and I love the Wii, and I love Metroid. 1 and 2 were a little too hard for me as a kid growing up in the GameCube. So Metroid Prime 3 was the first Metroid Prime game I beat. It actually might be... I don't think it's the first Metroid game I beat. That might have been like Zero Mission on the Game Boy Advance. But it was a staple of my childhood. Love Metroid Prime 3. Would later go back and beat 1 and 2 and get 100% completion in all 3 games, and then played Remastered 2 years ago. So I love Metroid, but also just the Metroid Prime trilogy. Retro Studios is one of my favorite developers under Nintendo's developer umbrella. And so, yeah, Metroid Prime 3, that's been an 18-year long wait from 3 to 4. But in terms of a Retro Studios game, it's been an 11-year long wait because Tropical Freeze, one of my favorite games ever made, was in 2014. So I was 18. So I've been waiting 18 years, 11 years for this same kind of sauce. And then obviously the infamous 8-year long wait because this game was announced in June 2017. My reaction to that initial reveal is on record. I filmed that back when I was doing the college vlogs. Oh my god, space. This is Metroid. No. What? Metroid Prime 4 is real. Oh my god. That's the most important thing I wanted. It's in development, so it's gonna be a while. I wonder if that's what Retro Studios is working on now. That's how long ago it was. And I'm an old man now, 29, so it's been a long time coming. But yeah, so now the game is finally out, so I think it obviously deserves its own dedicated video, and I'm sure I'm going to have a lot to say about it. I'm just staring at it right now, waiting for Colton to come home from work so I can properly start it and enjoy it together with him. So, UP. This game looks gorgeous. I've loved everything I've seen in the marketing up to this point. So, will it be a new top-tier Metroid game for me? I think it might, so I'm excited. Let's do this. And like the crazy fan I am, I did purchase all 3 Metroid Prime 4 amiibo, including Sylux. He just came out today. Or she. We know nothing about Sylux, like at all, despite him being a character for 2 decades. So yeah. Very, very good looking amiibo. And I'm an amiibo collector, so again, we've pretty much nearly have a complete amiibo collection. It's been 11 years of those damn things eating up my money. Yeah, I know, Jim, it's it's a hard life. But yeah, oh man, Amiibo are $30 now too. So like, this is almost $100 of Amiibo, which is more than the cost of the game itself. That's fine. I'm a sheep. It's okay. All right, now it's time for some Interstellar Bounty Hunter action.
alone. Let us in this moment lost above the stars are watching us fall. Fields of vision overlap.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Mission complete. I'm glad to report that I have beaten Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but not just that. In a total playtime of 16 hours and 30 minutes, I collected 100% of scans and 100% of items. So I am a completionist. I usually go for completion on a Metroid game, but I don't know if I've ever gotten every single scan in a Prime game before. So the fact that I pulled that off on my first try is pretty cool. Very excited about that. Yeah, because if you fight something like a boss or a special enemy and you miss it, then you're done. You're not going to get 100% of scans. So I 100% completed this game, and it was fantastic. As you can see from some of the clips that I've already shown, this game is gorgeous and epic. It is truly a beautiful sight to behold. And it's just so immersive, which Metroid in the Metroid Prime series especially is really known for. But it's just truly, truly an amazing feat of environmental storytelling. I loved every step of the game and learning all of the lore of the Lemorn. And it's a new alien race that, we don't have any other alien race like it before. I mean, it's kind of similar to the Chozo, but they have their own thing going on, which is, I think, really interesting to uncover as you play through the game. The gameplay itself is incredible. I definitely think it's probably the best gameplay of the Prime series so far. I mean, I played in motion controls, so pointer method. I'm sure the dual stick and the mouse controls are excellent as well. Sorry about that. Battery just died. I also have someone who wants to join me. Did you watch me play a lot of Metroid this past weekend? Yeah, I think you did. Did you have fun? She did have fun. I mean, she was probably on my lap for the vast majority of it. But yeah, the gameplay is fantastic. It actually takes a page out of the book of my favorite game, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Because if you like controlling the psychic control beam and slowing down time and aiming it, especially with motion controls, it is exactly the Beetle from Skyward Sword, which is a huge plus in my book because I love that item from that game. And it's really satisfying to slow down time and to aim things while you're not really going to get hit by anything because you slow down time that much. You can really just focus on shooting your target, up to 3 targets as well. So every time the game had you control your beam shot, I really, really enjoyed it. There are some other really cool abilities as well. Some of them are called psychic abilities, but some of them are pretty much the same as they've been before. The Psychic Lasso was essentially how the lasso controlled with the nunchuck in the Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. And I love that, though. I love the motion controls of ripping enemies' shields off their bodies and things like that. So it was a fantastic thing that I'm glad they brought back. The Spider Ball is better than ever because you can traverse tracks and things like you normally could and boost ball from one track to the next, but you can also tether to psychic nodes and kind of fling yourself, which made me think of the Pokios in Super Mario Odyssey. So this game, in terms of controls, was really just kind of taking lots of notes from some of my favorite games of all time. So I totally really appreciated that. But yeah, I mean, I covered the art, the story, the controls, the music. Definitely an all-time best Metroid soundtrack. It's definitely too early to say if it's my favorite, but man, it's up there. It's up there. Every Prime game, the mainline series, has incredible music. Kenji Yamamoto is a fantastic composer, and I think he had one other person help him out on this game. It's a fantastic soundtrack. Every area theme is just perfect and long. It doesn't loop for a long time, so songs like Fury Green and Volt Forge and Ice Belt, once you get the power back on, definitely some of my favorite songs in the game. But there's also other really amazing tracks like the theme to Viola, the bike, and the Silex boss theme is really good. And there's the Metroid Prime 4 title screen is amazing. There's so many good music tracks in this game, so definitely check out the soundtrack. And if you have Nintendo Music, Nintendo Switch Online, you can check out a special release of like 8 tracks in the game. It's a good way to maybe listen to some of the music if you don't quite have a Switch 2 or the game yet. So definitely recommend checking out the soundtrack. Man, the game was awesome. I think a lot of people don't have this as their favorite Metroid Prime game. I don't think I do either, but not the way you might expect. Most people, of course, think Super Metroid and Metroid Prime 1 are the greatest games in the series by far. Those are really beloved and definitely 10 out of 10 games, on my opinion. But I do think that I'm a sucker for a good, epic conclusion to a saga. So that kind of makes sense. Metroid Dread is the conclusion of the 2D saga, and that's my favorite Metroid game. And then I think Metroid Prime 3 Corruption still is my favorite Metroid Prime game. It probably just edges out 4 in terms of just how many incredible bosses it has, and some of the story moments with the extra characters in Prime 3 I really adore. I hope that they remaster Primes 2 and 3 eventually. I would love them to all look as beautiful as 1 and 4 do. That would be amazing. But that being said, I think Metroid Prime 4 Beyond might be my favorite Metroid Prime game after 3. It's really close. I rank 3 and 4 basically right next to each other, and 1 is not far behind. I love 3, 4, and 1 almost all equally. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes is kind of a Majora's Mask situation where it's part of a series that I love, but it just gives me so much anxiety, so it is definitely my least favorite of the series. But I actually liked everything the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond did that was different and unique. I'm glad that they made this game stand out a bit, not just with the psychic abilities, because those were kind of an evolution of the abilities we've had in the past, but this time around you get Viola, and so you basically have not really an open world, but like a main central hub, the Soul Valley Desert, and I liked it. Now, it's kind of like a retro game design choice. I mean, this is Retro Studios after all. I think a great comparison is that it's like Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time specifically, because it's one big plot of land. There's no loading screens or anything. And Viola is like Epona. But the difference being is Viola is a blast to control. The tight corners that you can make with the bike and the Akira slide and all the cool things you can do on the bike really didn't get old for me. I enjoyed the kind of refresh your palate sense that Viola gave to the game, because you would play maybe an hour or two and explore an area in first person like normal, and then Viola kind of gives you this extra third person perspective similar to the Morph Ball mode, and it gives great gameplay variety. The desert is supposed to feel desolate. That's part of the story as well. The Lemorn people wanted to reclaim their planet and bring life to it again. So I definitely think it has really cool atmosphere and really fun controls. So, as far as games being, dock points for that, Ocarina of Time still remains an all-timer in my book. So even though it might not be a Breath of the Wild type treatment, I don't think Metroid needed that, and I do like the bike. I like Viola a lot. It's really fun. I would love to see it kind of expanded in the future, or maybe in a future Prime game we can control Samus's gunship and shoot down enemies as well. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, I loved it. I loved the controversial elements of the game, I suppose, because most people are giving it like an 8 out of 10 or so score. It's a 10 out of 10 for me, by the way. But yeah, Viola was really cool, and I actually really appreciated the handful of Galactic Federation troopers that you get to partner up with in this game. They are not in the game a ton, so you still have the isolation vibes of the Metroid series, but it is kind of a nice change of pace, because you're all stranded on this planet together, and you can team up with them. And they're well acted. They're well acted, and their motion capture is fantastic. The performances are really good, and these are the most realistic human faces I've ever seen in a Nintendo game. So, I mean, it's got a lot going for it, and I think they do add a nice bit of personality to the game. I don't think they overstay their welcome. Miles is a little annoying in the beginning, just not with his dialogue, but with kind of the tutorialness of his persona. He's kind of like Fi in Skyward Sword. That doesn't prevent Skyward Sword from being my favorite game ever made. So again, it's not really something that bothers me very much. And by the time you get to the end game, I think they leave a pretty substantial narrative impact, and I really like their inclusion. That being said, there is one other element of the game, which I was kind of wondering how cool it would be, is Sylux, because he's just a character in a handheld spin-off game from 2 decades ago, and we've never known anything about him whatsoever. So we do get some backstory for him in this game. I won't spoil that here, and I'll show you just a slice of the first phase of his boss fight right now. His boss fight is 3 phases though, so this isn't that great of a spoiler if you want to turn off the video now. But his boss fight was insane. Definitely one of the best final bosses in Metroid history. I mean, he's kind of a loser, which is kind of his charm, I suppose. Samus doesn't really see him as a rival, but man, he sees himself as a rival to Samus. And I do think that's kind of a nice villain change of pace. Ravenbeak was so intimidating and really beat the crap out of Samus. So this time it's like, oh, Samus is definitely way superior to Sylux. And he's only as powerful as he is because of what happens in Prime 4 specifically. But it's really cool to see his interactions with Samus, because he has voice acted it as well. He's just kind of a cheeseball. I kind of love him now, though. I wasn't sure how much I would like Sylux going into this game, but man, I have an amiibo of him and everything, so, you know. Also, the amiibo, they really just unlock features early. There's radio tracks for Viola, but once you beat the game, you unlock those. Sylux unlocks, his flashback cutscene, but if you get 100% completion, you unlock that anyway. So if you don't have $90+ to spend on amiibo, don't fret. Only buy them if you think they look sexy, which they do. So that's why I bought them. But yeah, I think that's my entire thoughts on Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. If you're a Metroid fan, if you're a Metroid Prime fan, it's absolutely been worth the wait. You got to pick this game up. It's got all of the finesse and perfection of first-person shooter controls and exploration that you expect from the original trilogy, plus a lot of other new elements that I think they get really well implemented into the game too. So it has a lot of variety, and I think it's also a great game to be introduced to the Metroid series for. You don't need to know anything about the Metroid Prime trilogy. 1, 2, and 3 have pretty much zero connection to 4. I mean, Prime 4 is basically just titled that to tell you that this is the first-person Metroid gameplay style. The trilogy is totally its own story, completely self-contained. So whether you've played 1 and want to jump to 4, or you just want to start with 4, you very much can do that. Because this is very much a self-contained story in and of itself, so you can play Beyond without knowing anything else about the Metroid series. Well, thank you guys for watching. Today is December 11th, so later today we're going to be watching the Game Awards. We watch that every single year. I think I've watched it every year since it's begun, over a decade ago now. So we're rooting for a few different games to win. I think between Colton and I, we would like to see 2 different games win Game of the Year. My pick is Donkey Kong Bonanza, but the sheer favorite, of course, and is probably going to sweep almost every category, is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So I do expect that to win, and I watched Colton play that game. The narrative is incredible, and I do want to play through the game myself at some point as well. Just not enough time in this life. So we'll be super ecstatic if either one of those games win. So maybe we'll talk about that and give our little reactions to what games are awarded, but also potentially announced. Never have any idea what to expect when the Game Awards come around. But I might as well squeeze that into this vlog since it's about time. So thank you guys for watching. Now let's go to the Game Awards. The Astrobot people are coming out because that's what won Game of the Year last year. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has already won 8 awards tonight.
This is it, right?
Yeah. So we'll see if they win Game of the Year.
We were blessed with a huge honor on this very stage. So it is with great joy that we're back today to pass this incredible award onto another team. Congratulations to all nominees tonight. With your games, you made us travel, dream, sweat, laugh, and sometimes, very often, cry actually. From kids to hardcore gamers, there was truly something for everyone this year. And have you noticed, the games nominated this year were created by teams from all over the world. This is a testament that our industry feeds from various world cultures. And in this day and age, this is something we should really, really appreciate and celebrate. And also, each of these games had amazing music. So without further ado, please enjoy the nominations for Game of the Year.
All right, they just finished with the orchestra. Flute guy had like a dozen different instruments of increasing size and variety. Donkey Kong Bonanza got the final song spotlight. I love that.
And the Game of the Year is mon ami Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Yeah, I would be utterly shocked if it was anything else.
If it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, I said this is what was going to win earlier in this vlog, so I knew it. They won 9 awards.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the most amount of awards a game in history at the Game Awards has ever won.
It's gonna be hard for any game to ever beat that because you have to basically have the indie category and then have everything else.
Yeah, just nominated across so many categories, and it also being a genre game because they won Best Debut Indie, Best RPG, Best Performance, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Music and Score, Best Game Direction, and now Game of the Year. That's a lot of awards.
A lot.
I just said 9 awards. That's a lot. But you love this game. This might be one of your favorite games of all time now,
It
right?
really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm excited for you to play it. Now you have to. Because it won 9 awards.
It's on my list. It's on the backlog. But I mean, I watched you play it, so I know how special it is. It was really a beautiful game.
It really is.
We're all French this year. For those who come after. And there is that, our reaction to Game of the Year. And I think this is going to be the last clip of 2025. I've showed you guys around our place for the holidays in the last video, and just wanted to end out the year on a high note with a game that I was anticipating for such a long time. Metroid was very fantastic. There's about 3 weeks left in the year now. 2025 has been one hell of a year, as every year seems to be, for a different reason or another. But yeah, lots of fun, lots of great things happening, and lots of challenges too. Will my hair continue to grow longer into the new year? I think so. So we'll find out what 2026 has in store very soon. But until then, we'll see you guys in that next chapter, and I hope you guys have enjoyed reliving our years together here on the new YouTube channel, Seriously Stories. So stay tuned. There'll be more adventures coming in the near future. We're not done. This is Future Eric. It is currently January 13th, 2026. So I am kind of breaking the rules of my my vlog and my channel a little bit, but there's a good reason for that, I think. I haven't actually filmed anything vlog-wise for the new year yet, so this is just a kind of a quick way to give context, because I do have one major thing to show you, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm allowed to share it because at this point, it's not like private. So I'm proud of it, so I want to share it and preserve it. That is, I have actually become unemployed again, so I'm still on the job hunt once again, 6+ careers deep into my life. And because of that, I actually applied to a really spectacular once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a video producer for Nintendo Life, which has been a channel. I've been following them for probably over a decade as well. And you guys know I've dabbled in video games journalism. I've had some freelance work. I've done some website work back in college and a whole bunch of stuff. So I was like, all right, this opportunity came upon me right when I lost my my most recent job at the YMCA, and so I was like, well, now maybe that's the moment, maybe this is it. So I put all of my effort into making as great of a video application as I possibly could. I don't think I could really have done it much better. I spent over 20 hours brainstorming it, scripting it, revising it, practicing it, recording myself, filming myself. I did multiple takes, just a lot. And then I recorded my own gameplay footage of some of my favorite games, and then I edited it and applied. So it was a long process. Long story short, I did not get the job. Someone else who is also super deserving, and I'm very excited to see her become the new video producer at the Nintendo Life channel. Someone else got the job, but there was more than 300 applicants for the job. I can't really beat myself up too much. I think there were probably very many solid, super awesome videos and personal stories, and I think that's really cool and really great. Honestly, I kind of am jealous of the HR at Hookshot Media, because like they got to see so many passionate, probably well put together presentations from people like me, like 300 of us from around the world. That's pretty incredible. So after I'm done rambling here, you can check out the Nintendo Life application that I prepared. So here it is. Hello there. My name is Eric Savinsky. I'm a 29-year-old guy who lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with my husband and my cat, and some of my favorite things in life include playing video games, writing, and making videos here on the internet. Nintendo is one of the very few things that has been there for me in life since the very beginning. As soon as I could read, I was devouring the pages of Nintendo Power every month. Even back then, I thought writing and talking about video games as a career would be a dream come true. To pursue that dream, I first went to college and obtained my journalism degree. Becoming a newspaper reporter was the way I thought I could best make a positive impact on the world. And ever since then, my resume has been all over the place, mainly because my husband and I transformed our long-distance relationship into a successful cross-country love story. I spent several years managing nonprofits and marketing opportunities in higher education, all while focusing on community togetherness, building relationships, informing people about the things they care about, and empowering others to make a difference. I never denied my inner child. Growing up, I played every mainline Nintendo system, but it was the Nintendo Switch that ushered me into adulthood. Even though I was now paying for every single game I wanted, I found I was even more passionate about playing and celebrating games than ever before. When I was 20 years old, I landed my first gaming journalism gig as a staff writer for the American website Gamenesia. My highlight from this time was interviewing the legendary composer David Wise, as I learned about his process composing the soundtracks to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and the underrated indie title Snake Pass. Years later, I lent my talents to two indie Nintendo fan publications based in the United Kingdom, Ninty Buzz and Switch Player Magazine. And for a decade now, I've been improving my video production craft, filming, editing, and producing hundreds of vlogs, and also working on multiple professional-grade video game reviews with my friend Logan, who has taught me best how to elevate my words with amazing visuals to match. My three favorite video game franchises are The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario, and Star Fox. Some of the greatest games of all time come from these three series, and to fully explain why it's these three that resonate so deeply with me, I've chosen a single title from each to pinpoint exactly what Zelda, Mario, and Star Fox mean to me. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was my coming-of-age game. I was 15 years old when it came out, and that Christmas was spent loving every second of the adventure. Upon multiple playthroughs, it became my personal favorite video game of all time. As the first Zelda title in the timeline, setting the precedent for the unassuming youth turned hero, unafraid to face and fight the ultimate evil, this game helped an insecure teenage me feel more capable and confident. The motion controls further immersed me into the narrative of becoming my own chosen hero. The Zelda franchise does this better than any other. These legends help us feel like we can save the world from darkness so long as we always try our best. It was October of 2017 when I first met my future husband on the internet. This was the launch month for Super Mario Odyssey, and one of the very first things we bonded over was our mutual excitement for the game that would be released later that month. In the stressful final semester of my college career, this nerdy foundation for our romance was the brightest and happiest aspect of my life at the time. The vocal track that plays at the climax of the game, Break Free, Lead the Way, instantly became the anthem for our love story. Together, we decided we would break through all barriers and build a joyful future together. In part because we shared something as pure and fun as Mario's latest adventure, we began our journey as soulmates. Video games empower us to share what we love with those we love, and replaying some of our favorites can be a form of self-love and self-therapy. Before I was any good at video games as a very young child, I eagerly watched my dad play through Star Fox 64. I vividly remember seeing for the first time the spirit of James McCloud telling his son Fox, "Don't ever give up." The beauty of Fox escaping the hellfire on planet Venom with his dad is a huge part of why Star Fox 64 is my most replayed video game. In the darkest moments of my life, I have again and again picked up this title to remind myself that giving up is never an option. One of my absolute favorite left-field Nintendo games is the recently re-released Wario World. This title remains a severely underrated gem. The end credits song calcifies the emotional core of the game, and it always gives me chills, making me recall that Wario and I saved the innocent spriteling people from the clutches of evil. The one thing I want you to take away most from this video is that my passion for Nintendo games is boundless. I know the people in our community have deeply moving and personal stories like mine. Through the content I would strive to create for Nintendo Life, I would channel this enthusiasm to keep our viewers loving and celebrating games. Thank you so much for letting me share my passion with you, and for considering giving me the opportunity to join your team. All right, thank you guys so much for watching that. I really appreciate it. I feel like not only is it a job application, but it's kind of like a personal touchstone of my life and my relationship with video games and everything. And that's obviously a big part of my life. And the vlog in 2025, Nintendo Switch 2 launch was huge. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime 4, Beyond got their own dedicated vlogs. I love video games. I'm going to continue to lean very hard into that for the rest of my life until I die. Otherwise, I have no idea what's coming in 2026. As I record this, I'm just about to finally catch up on editing and releasing vlogs here on the new YouTube channel, and I'm about to finally catch up for the first time after about 2 years of being behind, drastic life changes, moving, different jobs, mental health struggles, crazy things happening. So even though I'm unemployed and the future is uncertain, I feel like I'm being at my most productive right now. It feels really good, and I'm very excited for the future. And as long as Colton, Jem, and I are together, we can do anything. And we're going to have the perfect life as long as the three of us are together. So honestly, we got this. We got this. We'll survive no matter what. So very excited. Yeah. It was a really good Triforce of a few years, kind of titled the year in review videos that way: Courage, Wisdom, and Power, 3 years in a row, because Tears of the Kingdom came out in 2023, required a lot of courage of us. In 2024, we had to have some wisdom back into our lives, because in 2023 the courage was like to get through things and have the bravery and the resolve to do crazy, amazing things, like Colton going to the Biltmore for his externship, and me taking care of myself and not having a family around to support me for the first time ever. We needed a lot of courage to do those things, but then we had the wisdom the following year to kind of reflect, take a step back, work on ourselves a little bit, and reevaluate. And then I think now, fittingly, 2025 was the year of power and growth, because it was the year of the snake, and I think that was perfectly fitting, because a lot happened, a lot of changes happened, but I think through it all, we've shown that we're powerful to overcome it, and we've grown a lot. And I think come out better on the other side, even if things aren't perfectly, tight in a row, or, spick and span. Life is not spick and span, it's chaotic. Yeah, the snake grows, and that's why it sheds its skin. So, going into the year of the fire horse, hopefully we get to have a very fiery, sexy year. I'm excited. Anyway, that's a ramble about, kind of my thought process as to how I title some of my videos. Anyway, it was a great year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Christmas was great. New Year's was great. We celebrated by finishing Stranger Things and My Hero Academia, 2 TV shows that have defined the last decade of entertainment. We've been watching both of them since pretty much they've begun in 2016, around that time. 10 years, man. Nothing makes you feel old like being alive for the whole cycle of a generational story. It's like being alive for like 2 Star Wars trilogies, which technically I have been as well. But to actually like be an adult the whole time while that's happened, man. I turned 30 in 2026, yeah. So might be a year of reflection, celebrating 3 decades and whatever. I have no idea what the next 5 or so decades would even entail, but I'm excited to find out. I'll probably film it for posterity. Maybe someone's watching this in the distant future, and if that's the case, I'm happy, because that means the world did not end after the political and societal, economic and scary upheaval of global and national affairs of the mid-2020s. Anyway, if we didn't survive, no one's watching this and you're dead. No one's probably watching this anyway. Anyway, yeah, whatever. Okay, love you. Keep doing great work out there. And I will see you in the next chapter. Seriously, we're out.